Welcome back to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now, let's start with the first story. It's called Approved Only. I have quite a flair for finding cheap travel and accommodation. My travels on a strict budget have taken me to 3 continents so far, so I'd say I've picked up a few tricks. Nowadays I get the pleasure of doing short trips with my work, when attending conferences and seminars. As I prefer not to waste money, I've arranged the trips privately and then requested it paid back afterwards. It worked out well for all of us, budget-wise. Then we got new directions for handling travel costs. We all had to go through a new travel agency when booking anything. The top brass held a talk about it and everything. We were warned that onwards, any application for money back after a trip booked privately may be outright denied. I had tried to use the travel agency before, but found that it only allowed a few overpriced airlines and hotels, and it wouldn't let you book anything outside of their approved connections. So where I previously combined train and bus tickets to reduce cost, I now just selected the top option. 5 times more expensive? Too bad. A nice low-range hotel that covered my needs? No longer available. Choose suggested option. I guess I will stay at the Hilton then. I just got back from a trip that costed 5 times what I could have paid if I had been able to do my thing. No flights were available the day I could have left, so I went a day earlier. No afternoon flight was available after my meeting, so I stayed an extra night. I was basically off work half a week extra because of that travel agency, and the trip ended up costing more than my monthly paycheck. The travel agency was apparently the lowest bidder on the contract, claiming they'd supply the cheapest travel options. I enjoyed the complimentary champagne. The next story is called Terrible Manager. I joined this Japanese-based company a few years ago as a production assistant. I wasn't assisting anyone in production. I was the only American, the only one fully fluent in both languages, so I ended up helping everyone else in some fashion or another. I also had to do my own work, of course, but when things shipped behind schedule, it was made out to be my fault. I helped our shipping manager send things out and receive them, count, quality check them, weigh the boxes, palletize them, etc. Our sales manager, the man himself in question, constantly asked me to double check his emails, so he sounded more natural and professional, and even had me get involved on numerous occasions to help him save face or placate customers. From the time that I started, we'd been struggling to keep time because of inventory issues. These issues were both because our customer didn't keep accurate numbers, and neither did we, not just for the parts they sent us for assembly, but also for the boxes we used to package the order before shipping. Boxes I used, and only I used. Boxes I was not allowed to order, but had to ask Mr. Sales Manager to order for me. He would forget to order them, and then I'd remind him, and he'd forget again, only ordering days later. It happened enough times that our customer finally demanded we count up our inventory. I made an Excel sheet, made it legible in both English and Japanese, color-coded areas of concern, and I also added everything we used in the office, from boxes only used by shipping, to gloves, to the parts from our biggest customer, as they were demanding we count. Everything got counted, everything was put in that document, and I made sure to include a field of when it was last counted. Suddenly we are making good time and getting ahead, and I don't have to worry about boxes. Now, this entire time, Mr. Sales was working on a 20-page document that proved our president didn't do his job, trying to report him to the JP home office and get him fired. My 2 co-workers got a glimpse of it and saw there were selections on all of us too, bad-mouthing our work, trying to make it seem like only Mr. Sales was on the up and up. Finally, the JP parent company sent someone. This guy is, unknown to all of us, the son-in-law of the company owner of a family-owned and run company. Pretty common in Japan. Well, only I and our shipping manager learn of this, since we actually talk to the guy. But Mr. Sales likes to treat him like a goof and pokes fun at him. this guy JP sent to us. He carefully plans meetings with us while Mr. Sales is out of the office and interviews all of us about what's been up at our USA branch. Our late shipments come up and my pattern of shipping late and insulting our biggest customer with my laziness. There's also reports of me being on my phone too much, preoccupied watching videos or listening to music and not working. I start pulling out the emails and the inventory I was told to create. I show him the inventory history and my emails asking for Mr. Sales to do his job from before it was made. I show him the ship dates and the differences before and after I made the inventory file. A friend of mine in Japan has problems and I lost contact with him a few times. I decide to go to Japan and help him out, try to live there, but at best I have 6 months of savings. That means I have to leave the company. I know this guy from JP is going to arrive and all Mr. Sales' delusions of being USA branch president will end, but I couldn't be there to see it. I went to Japan, spent my 6 months successfully and returned to the US a few months ago. I get in contact with the company and they rehire me. I learned that Mr. Sales quit shortly after I left, but not before he aired every last thing he had told me would stay between us and take all but a literal dump on my desk. I checked my old inventory file. He zeroed it out. The company has been shipping late again. Hired a new guy to do my job that's been getting parts returned, to fix errors numerous times, something that only happened to me once. They don't want me to fix any of that. Instead, they gave me a book of local businesses. Call them, drum up customers. Thanks for the paycheck for doing something so easy that won't ever work, I guess. The third story is called Parking Rules. Back in the mid-90s, when I attended college, parking permits were required for all cars to park at my school. The stated requirement was that the permit had to be attached to the windshield with its own backing. The permit had an adhesive backing to use when affixing to the windshield. Taping the permit to the windshield was explicitly not allowed. When I got my permit, I took some clear plastic wrap and wrapped it around the middle of the permit, leaving just a sliver of the permit's sticky backing at the top and bottom of the permit. I then attached the permit to the windshield of my car. Later, I got a parking ticket from my university for taping my parking permit to the windshield. Of course, I appealed the ticket. When I went to the window to explain how I creatively attached the permit, the clerk said, "That's not what we meant." I replied, "I don't care about what you meant. I care about what was written. The permit is attached to the windshield with its own backing." Surprisingly, the ticket was dropped and I never had another issue. The last story is called Severance Payout. Bosses and upper management constantly refuse my PTO. It lapses and expires comes next summer, so I'm not particularly stoked about how difficult it has been to use it. I recently got real sick. Boss refuses to submit any sort of PTO to make up for my missed hours. Says he expected me to call out. I called him ASAP within an hour of my shift starting. The company has a severance payout policy. I just won't show up at all for the next few days, get laid off, and now they owe me a couple thousand instead of a couple hundred. HR emailed me this morning with an option to resign, and they said they'll cash my PTO out next check. Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.